If I had left 5 minutes later, none of this would have happened. I wouldn't have been the one in the alley that night. I wouldn't have touched him. I wouldn't have started a mess I couldn't walk away from. But I didn't leave. And somehow, that was the night my life cracked open. I froze. 2 cars had just smashed into each other right in front of me. And guess what? I was the only one there. For a second, I honestly thought about driving away. I know, terrible, right? But my conscience wouldn't let me. I'd never sleep again if I just left someone to die. So I pulled over, muttering to myself, ugh, I swear to God, ran where the SUV was closest, so I opened that door first. And instantly regretted it. Because the man inside wasn't a stranger? No, he was one of my stepmother's business friends. The kind of scum who made even hardened criminals look like saints. The kind who messed around with minors. He was unconscious but alive. Great, just my luck. I rushed to the sedan. The driver, my stomach dropped when I checked his pulse. He wasn't moving, not even breathing. Nothing, he was gone. But then I heard a groan from the back seat. I yanked the door open and there he was, another man. Still alive, but barely. Okay, I got you, I whispered, sliding my arms under him. Except he was way heavier than I thought. I groaned, dragging his muscular body out of the car with all my strength. When I finally got him to the sidewalk, I laid him down, trying to catch my breath. And then I noticed him, really noticed him. His tailored suit clung to a body that looked like it had been sculpted out of stone. 6-pack abs, a sharp jawline, tattoos, scars. He looked like he'd been through hell. Burns, knife marks, you name it. For a second, I actually forgot how to breathe. Then I mentally slapped myself. Focus, nurse mode. I leaned over to check his ribs when his hand shot up and grabbed my wrist. I looked down and those icy blue eyes were staring right into me. My heart skipped a beat. Don't worry, I stammered. You were in an accident. I'm just helping you. I'll call an ambulance. But then he rasped, no.
No ambulance. No hospitals.
I blinked at him. Was he serious? He could have broken ribs, internal bleeding, a punctured lung. You need a hospital, I argued, but he just shook his head, groaning.
No. My phone.
Stubborn. Just my type of patient. I dug around his pockets until I found it completely smashed. Sorry, it's busted, I told him. He gritted his teeth, so I shoved my phone into his hand. Here, call whoever you need. He tapped something in, but when he gave it back, there was no number in my call log. Weird. Did he even make a call? Or did I just imagine his voice? I went back to checking him. That's when I found it. His leg was crooked, broken. I scavenged some wooden planks, nearly slicing my ankle in the process, and splinted his leg with medical tape. He groaned in pain, glaring at me with those piercing eyes.
I told you. No hospitals.
I threw my hands up. Fine, whatever you say, boss man. But something about him, it didn't sit right. The scars, the secrets, the fact that he refused help. And when I glanced at my phone again, confused by the empty call log, I couldn't shake the feeling that this stranger was hiding something big, and I was about to find out exactly what.
I thought I was dead. The crash left me dazed, my head spinning, my body screaming with pain. For a moment, I couldn't even tell if I was alive or already on the other side. And then I heard her voice, soft, steady, angelic. Too good for someone like me. When my vision finally cleared, I saw her, small, focused, working over me, with hands that were rough yet gentle. She said something about an ambulance. That word snapped me back to reality. No way. No hospitals. Not for me. Too many questions. Too much risk. I reached for my pocket. But my phone was shattered. Luckily, she handed me hers. As I dialed, I couldn't help but watch her work. The way she moved, professional. Quick, but also stubborn. Even when I groaned, she didn't flinch. She was focused entirely on saving me. For a moment, I almost forgot about the pain. Almost. Finally, the call connected, switching to my native tongue. I muttered, Arseny, I need a car. Intersection of 45th and Car. Doctor 2. Broken rib, maybe worse.
Shit! Stay alive! I'll be there in 10.
My brother replied before hanging up. I quickly deleted the call from her history. Before giving her phone back, she didn't notice. Too busy tending to my broken leg.
Straighten it, stabilize it.
She warned me. Yeah, I should have taken that warning more seriously, because when she pulled my leg straight and wrapped it with wood and tape, I nearly blacked out. The pain was brutal, but she worked fast, efficient, determined. When it was done, I looked at her and asked, "Does my little guardian angel have a name?" She chuckled softly.
Gabriella, what about you?
I smirked, even through the pain. Stephen. I thanked her, but honestly, I was still wondering how someone so small managed to drag a man my size out of a car wreck. As I leaned against the wall, I studied her. Petite, maybe 5 feet 3 inches at most. Loose ponytail, strands of hair falling over her tired face. Curvy figure hidden under scrubs. But those warm brown eyes, they pulled me in. She really did look like an angel. She shook my shoulder.
Hey, stay with me. How many fingers?
I smirked. 4. Index, middle, ring. Want me to list them all? She rolled her eyes, but I could tell she was relieved. Then she looked at me seriously.
Sorry about your buddy. He bled out before I got to him.
My jaw tightened. Losing men wasn't new to me, but it stung. What about the man in the SUV? I asked. Her eyes went cold.
He had a pulse. Unfortunately, I know him. Family ties. I'd rather leave him to die.
The venom in her voice made me pause. She hated him. Why? For a split second, paranoia crept in. Was it really a coincidence she was here at the exact moment of the crash? Or was she part of it? But then again, why save me if she was? My world doesn't allow trust to come easy, but something about her made me want to. That's when I noticed blood seeping into her pants. You're injured, I pointed out. She waved it off.
I'll be fine. You're the one who needs help.
I brushed a strand of hair from her face. Don't ruin that pretty face with worry. My people are coming. She looked back at me with stubborn eyes.
I'll stay until I know you're safe.
That made me chuckle. If only she knew. I'm never safe. She said I didn't owe her anything, that she was just doing what was right. But I couldn't leave it at that. I pulled out a card, scribbled my personal number, and slipped it into her pocket. Whether you like it or not, I owe you. Call me. For anything. She sighed, defeated.
Fine, but don't expect any late night calls.
I smirked. That's what your lover is for, right? She raised a brow.
If I had one. Is that your way of asking if I'm single?
Damn, caught me. I laughed, before coughing from the pain. That's when headlights appeared. My brother, Arseny, jumped out of the car. Well, thank heavens you're okay, he said. Do I look okay to you? I snapped. He smirked.
I was hoping you had a head injury to make you less of a dick.
Anyone else would have been dead for saying that, but he was my brother. With Gabriella's help, he hauled me up. I nodded toward the unconscious man by the SUV. Grab him too. As Arseny stuffed the man into the trunk, I turned back to Gabriella. She still looked worried. Remember, I told her, I'm 1 call away. The car door shut, and as we drove off, I couldn't stop thinking about her words. Was she really just in the wrong place at the wrong time? Or was there something more?
5 months later, I thought things were finally starting to settle. But I couldn't have been more wrong.
Hey, sis, come on. Just one drink. You need it.
Greg smirked at me like he always does, but I was dead on my feet. 16 hours into my shift after pulling, 12 the day before. Greg, I don't need a drink. I need a bed. I groaned. All I wanted was to clock out and see Papa, my father. He was still in a coma, guarded day and night by the goons my stepmother posted there. Greg hated it, but I told him the truth. She won't let up, and I won't forgive her. If I can't stop her, I'll take care of it myself.
You're better than that, Gabby.
He shook his head. Maybe I was, but in that moment, I wasn't so sure. And then there was that card. Stephen Volkov. Yes, that Volkov. Businessman by day, Bratva by night. A man who could crush my stepmother if he wanted to. But what would it cost me? Everything. That's why his card stayed in my drawer, haunting me every night. After my shift, I rushed to Papa's room. I held his limp hand and whispered, "Hey Dad, I missed you." I told him about my crazy day, about Greg, about everything. Even if he couldn't hear me, it made me feel like he was still here. When I walked out, one of her men stopped me. "Lady Ching wants to see you tonight." I glared. "She can ask me herself," and I walked away. But my mind wouldn't stop spinning. What did she want now? Power, money, or my life? Finally, I made it home, my studio apartment. Normally it felt safe, but that night, something felt wrong. My gut told me to run, and then arms wrapped around me from behind. I dropped my weight, threw him forward, and kicked him in the face. I sprinted for the exit, just a few more steps to my car, but another man tackled me to the ground. I fought like hell, stabbing him with a pen from my pocket. He screamed and I scrambled up. I almost made it to my car. Almost. Then I felt it, a sting in my thigh. I looked down, a needle sticking out. The label blurred in my vision, but I caught one word, ketamine, and before I could fight it, everything went black.
You ever agree to something you know is a bad idea, but you do it anyway? That was me. The night I walked into a warehouse with my brothers to meet our biggest enemy, and the last person I expected to see. There was her.
So, who's the lucky man that's getting hitched tonight?
That was Arseny, the youngest. He earned himself a smack from his twin.
Lucky? You want a wife from the triad? Be my guest.
I sighed. The night hadn't even started, and already my head was pounding. This was what it was like with 5 brothers in one car. Loud, reckless, and always 1 second away from a fight. But still, I wouldn't trade them for anything. Levi, of course, was already grumbling.
Why the hell are we even entertaining this? We could just wipe them out.
Stepan shot him a look.
Not everything has to end in a bloodbath. A truce could work.
And me? I kept my eyes on the window. We'll hear them out. If we can avoid a war, we should. Fear doesn't last. Respect does. But Alex brought up the one thing none of us wanted to talk about. I cut him off with a glare, and silence fell. That subject was off limits. Forever. We pulled up to the warehouse at the docks. Not exactly neutral ground, but I wasn't stupid. My men were already in position outside. Inside, we were greeted by her, Lady Ching, red and gold dress, fake smile plastered across her face. Sweet as poison. She spread her arms wide.
"Why fight when we could have peace? A marriage between our families will ensure it."
Stepan narrowed his eyes.
And what stops you from using more children as bargaining chips?
Good question. Lady Ching was too smooth with her answers. Rehearsed. Every word oozed fake charm. But she kept insisting.
"My husband adores his daughter. With her in your care, we'd never dare harm you."
Her husband. The same man lying in a coma. Something in my gut told me not to trust a single word. We huddled together, speaking Russian. Stepan.
Forget this. Let's kill them all.
Levi.
No. A truce is safer.
Arseny.
Even a short truce is better than none. We can plan during it.
Alex.
I hate senseless killing. Let's take the deal.
And me? I wanted peace. But agreeing felt like signing my death sentence. Still, I turned back to Lady Ching. We'll accept the truce. Her smile widened like a snake uncoiling.
"Perfect."
She clapped her hands, shouting in Mandarin, and then footsteps. 2 men dragged out a limp body. My stomach clenched. No, it couldn't be, but it was. Gabriella. Her raven hair fell over her face, her delicate body barely covered in white lace, and something inside me snapped. Before I could react, she exploded to life. She grabbed a knife, drove it into a man's leg, stole his gun, and shot the second one in the knee. The warehouse erupted. Men charged her, but she moved like fire, dodging, striking, disarming. A tiny nurse turned into a 1-woman army before my eyes. One man grabbed her from behind. She smashed her head back, cracked his nose, stabbed him in the leg, then hurled his knife straight into another man's gut. The room froze when a gunshot hit the floor in front of her.
Is this a joke?
Levi growled, hand twitching toward his gun. I could barely hold back my rage. How dare they parade her out like some piece of property? Gabriella wasn't theirs. She was mine. But before I could move, Lady Ching snapped her fingers. Dozens of rifles clicked in unison, all pointed straight at her. And Gabriella, bruised, breathless, still clutching that stolen gun. Locked eyes with me. In that split second, I knew. If I didn't act now, I'd lose her forever.